I control more than I realize. That's an interesting thing to say, honestly, because I think I didn't realize this until I had cancer. And I think the interesting thing about this statement is like, I think I focus on the things I can't control, and the more I focus on that, the more things that get added to that category, you know? And having cancer, I can't control that. So basically, you know, what I had was called Hodgkin lymphoma, and there is no like early prevention, or, you know, when I asked like why did I get this, like they said it's not genetics, it's not DNA, it's not anything that you did, we just don't know. I mean, there's nothing worse than being told that you got cancer and then them telling you we've got no idea why, right? And that kind of that sucks, right? But I can't control that. And like, there's, I guess, being angry and being sad and, you know, going through all the emotions, like there's no point, because it's nothing that I did. It's not my fault. I can't control that. The more I dwell on that, the more it feels like I've got no control over my life, when really I actually do, right? I got control over getting up and going to the gym in the morning, right? I've got control over watching what I eat and having a balanced diet. Whether or not it comes back again, I can't control that, but I can control how healthy I am when it does come back, right? Or if it does come back. Which I think this experience made me realize I've got more control than I realize. And I should stop dwelling on the things that I can't control and take control over the things that I can. You know, like starting this, talking here and recording myself with these thoughts. I pretty much thought, like, through my treatment, I spent 3 months just sitting there thinking about all of these things. I've got like 30 to 40 topics to talk about, and all of them I've already talked about in my head. What's the point of like not talking about them? You know, like, I've got control over what I might not have control over what I think, but I control over saying it, right? Like, saying this stuff I've got control over. You know, maybe I don't make enough money, but what can I do to make more? Or what can I do to, you know, do the things that I love? Like, you know, I think, you know, I'm always blaming the government. Like, you know, I think it's always, I don't know if it's like a human thing or it's just like a me thing, but it's always an excuse why we can't do something, because it's someone else's fault. Whereas I feel like, I guess like we can really do whatever we want. I guess, you know, with some boundaries and, you know, depending on your beliefs and ethics and all that stuff. But it's like, why do I keep blaming other things when really I've actually got control over that? Like, I think it's really interesting, I guess, topic to think about, and what things we actually have control and what we don't. And when you really list out the things, you realize, whoa, like I've really got control over my whole life, right? Like, there'll be things that happen that you can't do, but like, you know, like I said, I'm 23 years old. I mean, that's pretty, you know, rare to have cancer at this age. And I can't do anything about that, right? I can't. And I can't blame myself. I can't blame anyone else. That's just what happened. You know, if I trip or something like that, or if I like accidentally hurt myself, like, maybe I can't control that, or maybe I can be careful next, you know what I mean? Like, be careful next time, or, you know, I think I do make those excuses, blaming someone else for, you know, not being able to do what I want, when really I do have that control, you know? So it's an interesting thing, I don't know, to think about. when, I do have control more. And I guess for those things that I do have control, it's not just identifying it, I guess taking control over that, like actually do it. Like actually, if that's something that you want, I guess do it. And the less you make excuses, I guess the more you can actually do that thing. So I guess for me, I was pretty healthy before I was diagnosed. I was really, really healthy. I'd say, a few months prior, I was probably at the best health of my life. And when I was looking back at, what happened before and all the things on, like the regrets and all that stuff, I was like, actually, you know what? There's one thing that I'm really happy about. I'm really happy that I was healthy. I'm really, really happy that I went to the gym. I don't really like going to the gym. I'm going to be honest. I don't like going to the gym. But I know it's good for me. And I took control over that scenario. And, when I graduated in 2019, about that time I started going to the gym, I can't imagine where I would be if I didn't start that fight. It's probably about 4 years later I get diagnosed. Oh, it's actually 5 years later. If those 5 years I didn't go to the gym, I'm not sure how I would have went during treatment, because the doctor was very like, you're fit and healthy. I want you to take this certain, chemotherapy because you can handle it. Your body can handle it. Imagine, I don't know, I might have been a lot bigger, maybe overweight, maybe unhealthy. Who knows, right? Who knows? I can't control, the cancer, but I can control being healthy enough to handle it. And that's a really crazy thing to think about, because I wasn't obviously thinking about that 5 years later. Oh, I'm gonna be healthy just in case I get cancer. Like, you don't think about that. You just go to the gym, to be healthy. And I guess you don't really, I'm not saying like I should prepare for something bad to happen, but I should just do everything I can and take control of the things I can and make those good decisions. And if something does happen, then I'm equipped for it. If it doesn't happen, then there's no harm in being healthy, right? There's no harm in being, I don't know, having a balanced diet or being in good shape, I guess, if you could say that. So, I guess that's the thing that I'm happy about. And I guess now that I've gotten control back over my body, I should do everything I can to have a healthy body. And if something ever so happens to happen, I'll be equipped for it. Because I have control over that. What happens, I don't have control over, but what I do have control over. And I should just do it rather than saying, oh yeah, I got control. Just actually do it, which is funny. Yeah, what do you reckon about that? It's an interesting thing to think about. And yeah, I thanks for making it this far as well. I guess something to think about. And yeah, I guess have a good day. Thanks for listening.